Well, Willie Green was finally fired. On this week's episode of the Flop Factor, the guys will go into that, break that down. Bradley Beal out for the year. We'll break that one down as well. We'll go more into the betting scandal. There's a lot of stuff going on with that. Jokic is still Jokic. The Hawks are on fire without their point guard Trae Young. LeBron James is almost back. And we will talk about some rookies. Let's go, baby. The Flop Factor starts now. Hello and welcome to episode 9 of the Flop Factor podcast. I'm Cody Burton. No Delbert today. DJ McDermott is nowhere to be found. He is very upset. He's very distraught that he could not be here today. He's working for ESPN Plus today with the men's basketball game tonight. But Brayden Laszlo and RJ Rice are still here, so that's fun. We have a 3-man crew today. That's going to be a nice experience for the listeners at home. But we have a couple of topics we have to cover. The first one is the biggest one possible. Willie Green is finally fired, relieved of his duties after not being that great with the Pelicans. He had a solid start with the Pelicans. He led them to the playoffs a couple of years in a row, but both times were first-round exits, and he was a just continuous play-in contender every year in, year out, but just was not able to do anything other than that. And now the Pelicans are terrible. They're now, I believe, 2-10. They are, and it's 2-10 start into his 5th season in charge, and that's a no bueno. You can't do that.
Yeah. I'm not even shocked. Well, it doesn't help considering that your supposed face of the franchise usually is hurt almost every year. I'm not the biggest fan of Willie Green either, do not get me wrong. But I think a lot of fans sometimes kind of forget to realize in these firings that most of the time, if you don't have healthy players, you're not going to be good. But I think this is a matter of time. I mean, you're 2-10. The organization needs a different direction. Isn't Joe Dumars their GM?
Yep. Well, he's the vice president of basketball operations. I believe their GM is
is it David Griffin still?
No, David Griffin was fired.
He got fired.
It's whoever used to be the Pistons guy, I think.
I just know Dumars runs usually most of the decisions. That was my point with that.
Oh, my goodness. It is Troy Weaver. Yeah, no wonder.
Really? Okay.
Troy Weaver was one of the worst general managers I've ever seen. He used to be he was Sam Presti's right-hand man for a hot minute, and he was the reason why Presti only went for athletes so many years in a row, since they brought that same philosophy to both the Pistons and then the Pelicans, and it doesn't work. You can't turn an athlete into a player.
I was about to say, I wonder why they were so bad. That explains it. Yeah, I don't know. I think for New Orleans, they have a lot of soul-searching to do. I know that's really a term that kind of gets thrown around a good amount by these kind of other 2-11, these teams. But if you're that bad, you need to have some sort of switch. I mean, your only wins coming against Charlotte and Dallas, which with how dysfunctional Dallas is right now, those aren't good wins. And hypothetically, if those were decent teams in the National Basketball Association, they probably wouldn't have a win yet. So I think for New Orleans, you got to go back to the drawing board and get someone that can actually control the locker room.
Yeah, I agree. Willie Green, after 5 years, obviously didn't really get anything accomplished there in New Orleans. Obviously, 22-23 season was his best year, where he finished 12th in Coach of the Year voting. But you said it best, RJ. It's hard to win without your stars being healthy and being on the court and available at any given moment. So you can't really put all of this on to Willie Green, but at the same time, it's very disappointing to see that this Pelicans team that once had so much promise and people really thought this team could make some sort of a playoff run just really fizzle out like this. I mean, I do think that and this offseason kind of gave me a little bit of hope with this organization, bringing in Jordan Poole, a guy who's won an NBA championship, but also kind of proved himself that he can't really be the go-to guy on a team in Washington. So New Orleans kind of swung for the fence there and ultimately cost Willie Green his job after that 2-11 start.
Yeah, now that for the rest of the season, the interim head coach of this Pelicans team will be former Charlotte Hornets head coach James Borrego, the Albuquerque, New Mexico native, and his time with the Charlotte Hornets wasn't that great, so I don't expect much different with him at the charge of the Pelicans. But Executive Vice President of Basketball Operations Joe Dumars of the Pelicans, he announced the coaching changed and said it really wasn't the win and loss record as the ultimate determining factor. We have to establish who is going to be here in New Orleans going forward, and I just did not see that happening. And he also said, after careful evaluation, we have made the difficult decision to make a change at head coach. I have the utmost respect for Willie Green, and I'm sincerely appreciative of his contributions for the Pelicans organization and the New Orleans community. We wish him and his family all the best in the future. It unfortunately did not do good for Willie Green. Whenever he was hired from the Phoenix Suns assistant coaching staff, I was pretty high on him. He was a really up-and-coming, good young head coach. Unfortunately, like majority of the coaches that's gone in and out of the New Orleans Pelicans franchise, even dating back to the times they were the New Orleans Hornets and the Oklahoma City Hornets for those 2 seasons, the Pelicans just continue to be mediocre or bad and not much light at the end of the tunnel for them. It's very unfortunate because New Orleans, you know, whenever they have a really good franchise, a really good team, that fan base and that city shows up and supports them. But the Pelicans have just not been giving that.
Something really weird, because in Dumars' response, it's like it wasn't the win-loss record. You just don't see him in the future. Well, you don't see him in the future because the win-loss record is trash. I mean, is there something I'm missing there with that? I don't know. This seems to be more of an organizational dysfunction from the Pelicans. It's always something. I don't know why they're in the news for it. It's usually something bad. It's not really anything good, like, ever. So they got to get a lot of new things in New Orleans, or else this might be the new standard.
Yeah, we're going to Brayden, you want to say?
No, you said that perfectly.
Yeah. We're going to jump forward to something that happened last night. It was one of the best games I've ever seen. Jazz Bulls. 2 overtimes, a lot of points put up, 150-147 in favor of Utah. Just looking at the box score, Lauri Markkanen had 47 points. Keontae George had 33, 6 assists, 4 steals. Isaiah Collier had 16, 4 rebounds, 9 assists, 2 steals. Bryce Sensabaugh had 16 points himself. And then on the Bulls side of things, Josh Giddey had a 26-point, 12-rebound, 13-assist triple-double. Kobe White made his season debut, scored 27 points and 8 assists. Vucevic had 21 points and 13 rebounds. Matas Buzelis had 18. Dos Menzu had 18. Coro had 5. But the Jazz were able to win in double overtime on a game-winning shot from Keontae George. I'm going to play this real quick. It's just a phenomenal shot. It's just, you see Collier set up the offense, drift right, have a handoff to the right for George, and he just drills it. I mean, there's no better shot, and then Keontae George has started to pick up a lot of what he was showing at the start. Like back in college at Baylor, averaging 22 and 7 on the season. He's looking like a good young player, and the Jazz are starting to pick up an identity a little. They're starting to see who their guys are for the future. You see Keontae George, Lauri Markkanen's still there. I mean, Ace Bailey fouled out in 10 minutes in this game, but he had a couple of games back-to-back with some good performances, had 20 or more points in back-to-back games against the Hawks and Pacers. Before that, they're starting to get an identity. And this game, just run me through this. This is something.
I mean, before I do go on the side of the Utah Jazz and really how so far you're showing some potential and some light. I think Brayden will find this really funny. It doesn't matter if the final score is 150 to 147. Isaac Okoro still won't score 10-plus points. He's just not an offensive scorer. Just thought I'd shout that out. Former Cleveland Cavalier top 5 pick. Anyway, moving on. But I think for the Utah Jazz, Lauri Markkanen's a star, man. I mean, we really have to get into that conversation because he's just so good. I mean, even I saw I believe it was reported it was today or yesterday, Draymond tried to get the Golden State front office to trade for Lauri Markkanen. And you can't really blame him because, I mean, assessing that talent, even Keontae George had himself a great game points-wise. But I really think, though, when it comes down to this, and even Yusuf Nurkic in the rebound department, 14 of them. I mean, you really having a rebounder like that, I think, is really underrated in the NBA because a lot of people don't really tend to realize, like, that gives you way more possessions and therefore more chances to get shots up to get the win. But I'm going to go also on the Chicago side. They kind of fell off a cliff. We talked about it, I believe it was last week. And, I mean, are we stunned that they're falling off a cliff? No, not entirely. It's not sustained success. We talked about more of that luck factor. But I think really when you look at it, I mean, it was a great performance from – it's one of those games, and even Kobe White coming off the bench for 27 points is nuts. I really think you have to come out of this for Chicago. You played a great game. I mean, you can't really – it's just one of those classics for definitely a Game of the Year candidate. But I really think, though, for the Utah Jazz side, this is one of those wins that you can kind of build around, build your season off of. And if you keep up with this younger core, I mean, Utah and Brayden's pick early in the year might not be looking too entirely bad after all.
Yeah, I mean, I love what you said about Chicago. I mean, after that 5-0 start, they've lost 6 out of their last 7. No joke intended, but like it is bad. Like 5-game losing streak right now. Their last win came against the Sixers, and that was only a 2-point victory. So like, I agree. Some of this is luck, but it's also some of the bad luck and kind of the bad defense. Like this team with this offense is not bad at all. As you mentioned, with Kobe White, Josh Giddey, Vucevic, Buzelis is coming along. Obviously, Isaac Okoro will not score you double digits at all. But, I mean, there are some players on this team that can really put the ball in the bucket. But it's not sustainable if you're letting up 150 points. Obviously, that's not every night. But if you're letting a guy like Lauri Markkanen, who we know can shoot, who we know is going to get his shots up, score 47 on you, and then Keontae George adding another 33 on top of that, this Jazz team really has a chance to do something this year, especially in – I would say this is one of the weaker West that we've seen in a while here, especially at the bottom. It's very top-heavy. So teams like the Clippers, I know we're going to talk about them in a second, but like they're kind of out of it right now. Same with the Grizzlies. We don't know what's going on with Ja Morant. The Mavericks obviously are very dysfunctional. And then the Kings and the Pelicans are 2 of the worst teams in the West right now. So the Jazz really do have a shot to get back into a play-in spot this year. And it's very exciting to see, especially with these young guards, with Keontae George, Sensabaugh, Collier. And then you got guys like Markkanen, who's a vet but can also get you a lot of points. So this team is really fun to watch. They're streaky, but it's definitely a team to keep an eye on as we move forward.
Yeah, definitely. And just yesterday alone, there was a lot of just incredible clutch time type games. The Mavs and Blazers went into overtime. Rockets Magic went into overtime, and like Alfred Sengun hit like a insane baby hook fadeaway type shot to send that game to overtime. The Rockets were able to pull away with the win over the Magic. Obviously, the double overtime type performance against the Jazz and the Bulls, and it's just, I mean, the Celtics and Clippers had a very close game as well, and that's a good segue into what we'll get into next. The Los Angeles Clippers, what's going on over there? Bradley Beal's out for the year now. Season-ending hip fracture that happened last week. It was announced last week. Like around, like a little bit after we were finished recording, I believe we were talking about how this team was looking bad, and boom, there's a blow. Bradley Beal plays one game and fractures his hip, but then on top of that, last night, Derek Jones was helped off the court with an apparent knee injury, and that's another pretty bad blow. I mean, he's a very big key player. They tried to make a late comeback against the Boston Celtics. They outscored the Celtics 33-31 and 36-27 in the fourth and third quarters, respectively, and it just wasn't enough. The Celtics were able to hold on. They had to lead the entire game, led by 24 in the third quarter, and Clippers did not lead a single time. Okay, not looking good. They were able to pick up a win against the Dallas Mavericks in double overtime to end a long losing streak, but Clippers lost once again, and I don't think going to double overtime against the Mavericks is anything to really harp on because, you know, it's the Dallas Mavericks. They're not looking good. Anthony Davis still isn't playing. But what's going on? I mean, it's obvious. We talked about it a little bit, like a lot last week, so we can just hit on the stuff. We can hit on Bradley Beal being out and what that means. We can hit on how Derek Jones Jr.'s availability is uncertain for the near future. But it's not looking good for the Clippers, and it doesn't really make it better whenever they do not have their draft pick.
No, I'm going to be honest. This Clippers team is screwed. And I think really it all started or I should call them the Los Angeles Aspirations, because I'm not even going to lie. I'll start with that, but also the Bradley Beal injury. He has just been injured for a while now. I mean, even with Phoenix, and now you see what's happening in LA. They got the win. What is it with these teams that are looking bad in the wins against Dallas? I don't know why. It's the second time they won at Dallas. That was by 6 points. But moving on, I think really it's James Harden, and that's kind of like it. So for me, this kind of comes down to obviously the Bradley Beal injury. Just in general, it's just a major blow. I think especially if they wanted to try and contend, if they even were going to, that absolutely just kills their chances of that. And then with the injury you just mentioned earlier, I think really it just kills their depth. I mean, they already don't really have any much to begin with. I'm going to actually pull up their chart here now. I mean, really what you're looking at is you're going to have probably John Collins step into that role. At least that's what the depth chart on ESPN says, him and Batum. But I really think now it's Harden, Dunn, Batum, Collins, and Zubac, which obviously Harden and Zubac, I mean, a good point guard center duo. But besides that, that's it. And, I mean, really for this team now, it really comes down. I mean, you have it all in Chris Paul. I don't think this Clippers team is going anywhere, and they're going to be having a couple of months in the media.
Yeah, I mean, I think that this season was really lost in the offseason, especially with the Kawhi drama, trading away Norman Powell, getting John Collins. I really did not understand the science behind that move. I think Norman Powell is a very solid player, and he's showing that in Miami right now. But to your point about these injuries, this should be a warning sign to teams all across the league. Do not build with older guys. You need some young guys in there to just take the load off some of these older guys and truly just have a well-rounded age roster. I mean, relying on 30, I don't even know how old Bradley Beal is, 35, 36, something like that.
Let's see. I'm pulling it up. 32. He's only 32. It's just, his type of game plan, like how he plays, it makes him feel a lot older.
Yeah, I mean, just like these injury-prone stars, especially with Kawhi Leonard, with load management, like it's hard to build a team around that, especially if you don't know if a guy is going to be out there on any given night. So this should be a warning sign to the rest of the league to stay away from the elderly of the NBA and truly trying to build a core around a lot of guys in their early to late 30s, early 40s.
Yeah, and I just pulled up a Bleacher Report article whenever I was searching for Bradley Beal's age, and it's NBA executive says Clippers are cooked amid Kawhi Leonard Bradley Beal injuries. And it says, speaking to ESPN's Tim Bontemps, an anonymous Eastern Conference executive said the Clippers are, quote-unquote, cooked. Cooked they are indeed. As I start to pull up the Tankathon draft big board right now to see where the good old Clippers are lying at. So let me go to mock draft, and as this slows, Tankathon, it needs to work. Here we go.
Are you ready for that? I was going to give you some time if you're.
Yeah. Clippers are currently sitting in at 9, but bad news for them. They do not have their pick. That pick would be going to the Oklahoma City Thunder, and the Jazz are currently sitting at 10. Their pick is top 8 protected. So if they continue to play good like they are right now and are like late lottery, they won't get their pick either. Their pick's going to Oklahoma City as well. So let me just sim this lottery real quick, just to see what pops up.
That's ridiculous.
Well, the Thunder get 2 lottery picks in this sim. Clippers at 10, Jazz at 11. So the Clippers having a lottery pick already is not looking good for the rest of the league. But if the Jazz end up being in this late lottery range as well, that looks even worse for the rest of the league. But the Clippers just need to wake up. There's a lot of stuff they need to do, but as of right now, it's looking like the Clippers may gift a title contender a lottery pick, which is not good. As a team that looks like that won the NBA championship last year, is 13-1 this year. It's not really. That's kind of scary to see. Oh wait, they may get a top 10 pick.
Do you think that Sam Presti would use that pick, or
Yes.
do you think he would trade?
He's used the last 2, so I'd assume so.
I don't see.
Okay.
I don't see why it would.
Well,
I would not be shocked though if this exact situation happens that they combine the 2 and like trade up to get like Koa Pete.
Yeah, that would make sense. So you would say trade those picks for another pick?
Yeah, for a higher pick.
That wouldn't necessarily be a bad idea.
But
that makes sense.
what I'm also looking at right now is the team that was also in the finals a season ago is currently, well, I just simmed it. I just simmed it again, and the Pacers get the number 1 pick in this sim as the Jazz jump up to 3, so good on them. But the Clippers go 10 once again. So the Pacers and Thunder, the 2 teams who were in the finals a season ago, are projected to get lottery picks if the season ended today. And with the Pacers situation, they will get a top 3 pick, more than likely, top 3 odds at least. And that means one of Darren Peterson, Cameron Boozer, AJ Demanston will be going to Indiana to play alongside a healthy Tyrese Halliburton. We may be seeing a budding rivalry once the Pacers get healthy once again, and the league may not be ready for it.
That would be pretty fun. I can't lie. I mean, looking at, I would say definite rivalry. Obviously, with the Game 7 situation that ended up happening with, Tyrese in general. But if it leads to them potentially getting AJ, and obviously with Miles Turner just leaving this past offseason, that would be so much fun. And I'd be here for it.
Yeah, we might be potentially. I'm not going to bank on this, but potentially next Cavs Warriors-esque rivalry. I'm not saying these teams are going to face off in the finals for years on end, but I mean, you look at that Game 7, you don't know what happens if Tyrese stays healthy. You just don't. And then if they get a top 3 pick, which is more than likely, that's going to be obviously an elite talent alongside elite point guards, and then whatever else they choose to do next offseason. But, yeah, we definitely could be looking at the next one of the greatest NBA rivalries.
Yeah, moving on. The NBA betting scandal has continued. Multiple NBA teams, including the Los Angeles Lakers, have been asked by the league to hand over cell phones and documents as part of its continued investigation into illegal sports betting. And a lot of this is surrounding LeBron James, because one of the people that was caught up was surrounding LeBron James. So the Lakers are involved, the Cavs are involved, I believe the Heat are involved still with Terry Rozier. It's a whole situation. There's more teams involved with other connections with all of this, but everyone has to be fully cooperative, is what the NBA is saying. Congress is seeking answers as to why Rozier was allowed to continue playing after the league looked into suspicious betting patterns regarding a March 2023 game, since Rozier played in more than 100 games before he was arrested in October. And Adam Silver said that the league couldn't find anything, straight up. So it's a lot going on. It's federal level, league level, state level. At this point, it might be the world level. I don't know. NATO might get involved. The UN. I don't know. But what's going on? I just want to see what your all's thoughts are about this NBA scandal.
Well, I mean, mine will be super quick, but I will say more than anything, this is an integrity level problem. And for the NBA, that is your worst nightmare, because obviously you haven't seen something this bad since Tim Donaghy. And trust me, years after that, there were a lot of people who couldn't take the NBA seriously because you don't know if it's legit or not. You don't know if there's gambling behind the scenes. And this clearly right here showed that even after that situation, it's not the refs this time, it's the players, which is arguably even worse. I think really the Terry Rozier problem is the worst one, I think, by far. I mean, they're all bad, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to rank them or anything, but if you go off of him still being able to play, you said over 100 games, that's a problem, because you are saying your investigation team sucks, is what you're saying. Because, trust me, if the FBI wants to get involved and find something out, they'll do it. And obviously with everything that came out of that random Tuesday morning before class that I was going to, and I'm like, oh, here comes the NBA investigation. And it just shows clearly that there's a lot of dysfunction going on in the NBA, and I think Adam Silver right now, you're pushing the big red panic button.
Yeah, man, It's definitely disappointing, especially if the LeBron ties comes true, because it also comes back to integrity. I mean, people who don't even watch the NBA know who LeBron James is, and if this comes back to him, people are going to take the NBA even less seriously, like RJ said. But it's kind of sad. I mean, just don't gamble. Like, do not gamble. It's not. I mean, it's definitely easy to get addicted to. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to like mess around with any of that, but if you're in the game, like, there's no reason to be putting money on yourself or trying to wager bets against yourself. Like, it doesn't do anything for anybody. It takes away from the integrity of the game. It takes away enjoyability of the game. It kind of makes you question things. You're like, was that shot missed on purpose, or did he actually try to shoot that shot? Like, it kind of gives you a different perspective on things now, and it's really, really sad to see, because I mean, I've been watching the NBA basically my whole life, and it's kind of hard to wrap my head around the fact that some of that might have not been legit or not.
Well, it's even that, and also in the MLB. I mean, you see the things with Clase and Ortiz going around, and the weird scenarios going in there. Like, they're having conversations in the middle of a game. I mean, I'll give a specific example super quick that I believe it was 2023 Yankees series where he was just garbage. And I mean garbage for a closer who almost had, I think that year, not even a 1 ERA. You don't just see it. And whenever these players have a bad performance in any sport, and even in the NBA, they're going to think it's betting now. And this is just what happens when you have a few bad apples out of the bunch.
Yeah, and going further in to we have
DJ
breaking news
McDermott
from
bomb.
DJ McDermott. Victor has a calf strain and is going to be out a couple weeks. No.
RIP my fantasy team. Let me go switch my roster out real quick.
And this was after yesterday. He said to please make a shout out that he is thankful for Victor Wembanyama, and a Jalen Johnson fantasy basketball shout out, which we will get to. I'm so sorry, DJ. I guess you were involved in this episode in some way. I send condolences to Victor Wembanyama. But
I just got to wait for him to get in the IR slot as a free player.
More on to the Damon Jones stuff. At least 10 Lakers employees are reportedly expected to be asked to surrender phones and phone records. Lakers assistant trainer Mike Mancias and executive administrator Randy Mims have already surrendered their phones and are cooperating with the investigation. Neither of them have been charged with a crime, but Damon Jones sold information relating to the injury status of Lakers players on at least one occasion. Allegedly received information from an unnamed trainer. The players were not named in the indictment, but context points to them being LeBron James and Anthony Davis's injury issues. So, LeBron said that he had no knowledge that Jones was selling information about his injury status, but the more you know, that's the information surrounding that. Now, moving on. Nikola Jokic continues to be Nikola Jokic. He surges to number one on the Kia MVP ladder. He has been dominant as of late. He had a 55.12 rebound and 6 assist game. On the season, he's averaging 28.7 points, 13 rebounds, and 11 assists while shooting 67% from the field, 42.6% from three, and 87.5% from the free throw line. Nikola Jokic, Big Honey, Cookie Monster, Yoke, Big Tipper. Those are his nicknames. Also Yoker.
Joker.
Yoker. I've heard Yoker. Yeah, I've heard Nuggets fan call him Yoker for some reason.
That's interesting.
He's looking like he's about to be his 8th All-NBA appearance, potential 4th MVP. It's currently between him, Giannis, and Shea at the top of that ladder once again, and he's proving that, like, me and one of my friends who I went to high school with, he goes to Indiana. He actually may pop up on this podcast at one point as a guest, but we were talking, like, there's a chance that he has an argument to be a top 10 player of all time right now. I think he may be like top 5 most talented already to ever play the game. Like, there's, like, Jordan and LeBron they are clearly above him in terms of straight talent, but anyone other than, like, Kareem, like I currently have him as probably the 5th most talented player to ever play the sport. I don't even think that's crazy. Like, in my opinion, the only players higher like in terms of straight pure talent, are Hakeem, Kareem, Jordan, LeBron. Like Wilt's obviously like in that situation with him, but like he's so good and it's so talented, and like he could very well have 4 or 5 MVPs right now. In my opinion, Embiid and Shea deserve both of their MVPs, but he has arguments to have 5 straight MVPs working on him right now, and that's just absurd.
Yeah, I mean, really, with most of those career things, I like to wait till the end of the career to really discuss and see all the achievements that he's had. But I mean, if we're going at this current moment, and if he is obviously planning to stay on this trajectory, and hopefully God knows he's not in a gambling investigation. I highly doubt he is. He usually
It'd
has
probably
fun.
be something with horses.
Yep, I was about to say he usually has fun with his horses. He's like, you know what, NBA championships aren't cool. Give me that horse title. But I will say it's absurd. He is one of the best players in NBA history, and I don't think you can really deny it anymore. I mean, just seeing how him and Shea have kind of competed with the last, and even Joel Embiid with that one MVP as well in that comparison, I really think it's just absurd. I mean, you can't necessarily put a comparison to him. And that's, I think, what makes him so special in the talent level. I mean, right now even, he's leading the league in rebounds, assists, and he's top 10 in points. How do you not give him the MVP at this rate, at this current moment? And honestly, he could probably make these stats even better. I mean, just knowing how good he is, he could probably get up if he gets to that 30-plus point per game range, he's going to win the MVP. And the only other person you could probably argue be Luka Doncic.
I mean, yeah, I agree with you. I don't think that you can deny the fact that Jokic has been at least one of the top 10 players in the NBA of all time. I honestly agree with you. I don't think you could really put a label on this yet until everything's said and done. Like, who knows? He might get a couple more rings before he retires. But, I mean, the amount of talent that is in the NBA and from Jokic to Giannis, like those two players truly stand out to me because we have never seen players like those two ever in the history of the NBA. You can't compare them to anybody. You haven't seen anything like them. Like Jokic can pull from 3 and then drop a pass behind his back or around his head or whatever. Like you're not seeing that from anybody. And he's 7 foot. Like that is ridiculous. It's actually insane. Same with Giannis. I mean, obviously we're talking about Jokic here, but those two, I would love to see an NBA Finals between Giannis and Jokic. Just pure 7 games going at it, but I mean, Nikola Jokic definitely deserves MVP right now. 28 points, 13 rebounds, and 10 assists a game is absurd. Shooting over 65% from the field. I think that's the most impressive part here. 42% from 3 as well. So, I don't know. We could be seeing a 50-40-90 club possibly as well with all 3 shooting percentages. He just got to get up. He has to get up that free throw percentage, but it's absolutely ridiculous what he's doing right now.
Oh, yeah. It's insane to think obviously everyone talks about this guy, but it's just really the run he's been on from 2018 to now. He's made 7 straight All-Star appearances, about to make it at 8 this year unless he suddenly gets hurt. But with how his health has been, I can't see him ever getting hurt. And it's just so insane. Like from 2018, his first All-Star appearance on, he has been top 10 in the MVP race. 2018, 4th, 9th, 1st, 2nd, 1st, 2nd. What? Like, the insane run he has been on has just been absurd, and it's crazy to think about how, like, just everything around him has, from second-round pick on, I mean, he was third in the Rookie of the Year race after not playing in 14-15, but it's just Jokic is Jokic, and Jokic will continue to be Jokic is my takeaway on that. Now, the Atlanta Hawks have won their 5th straight game without Trae Young, and it's just they're starting to unlock what we believe they could be. The rest of the team around Trae has been proving to be really good, and once he gets back, you have to expect they're going to be even better. Jalen Johnson was actually just named the Eastern Conference Player of the Week. I have an SI account, but he was named the Eastern Conference Player of the Week. Good for him. I love Jalen Johnson. I guarantee you DJ loves him too. He's on my team. I'm very confused on why he said Jalen Johnson fantasy basketball. He's on my team.
Just in general for a shout out, I'm
guess.
imagining.
But yeah, Jalen Johnson, my goodness, great player. Please stay healthy this year. He was going to walk into the Most Improved Player of the World award last year if he didn't get hurt. But what are your all's takeaways of the Hawks? I know mine, but I'm going to save that to last because I know y'all won't mention this guy.
Well, fair enough. I mean, obviously for Atlanta, I mean, for me, the two games that really are kind of questionable in this 5-game streak are obviously the Clippers, just knowing what they are, and then the Kings. The Kings should be a separate discussion because what is happening there, I don't know. They're just trash. But anyway, moving on. That's a different discussion.
They're a what I like to consider. You know how the Clippers are a failed unction. They're like if the unction just never happened.
Yeah, that's very fair.
Shout out Russ though. He's been playing.
Yeah, shout out Russ. We like Russ on this Flop Factor podcast.
Love Russ.
But I will say, especially for the Atlanta Hawks, this was the Flop Factor sleeper team, and obviously being first in that Southeast Division, they're looking pretty good. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, when the Atlanta Hawks are good, it seems like the NBA is in a better place. I don't know why that is, but obviously for Jalen Johnson, he's been playing great, been really electric for this Atlanta Hawks team. But obviously, I think with the youth of this Atlanta Hawks team, it makes it even a better story because obviously having Dyson Daniels in there along with Nikola Alexander Walker, this team's good. And I really think if they obviously with this team chemistry, I think if they keep that up, and even if they're gonna sometimes you're gonna lose to those obviously good teams, or even you'll have a slip up every now and again. But I think if you can relatively stay in here with this Eastern Conference, I mean you're 9-5 right now, you're in a pretty good spot right now. So if you're the Atlanta Hawks, even without Trae Young, you're looking really good.
This might be an unpopular opinion, but I'm not completely sold on this Hawks team yet. I mean, you look at these wins, you got the Clippers, the Kings, the Jazz, the Suns, and then I will give it to them. The Lakers games definitely sold me on them a little bit. But, I mean, you have an opportunity tomorrow night. You host the East-leading Detroit Pistons. If you win that game, I'm all the way bought in. You make it 6 straight. You give the Pistons their 3rd loss. You cut into that Western Conference or Eastern Conference lead, and I'll give them their flowers. But I have been really, really impressed with Jalen Johnson, as you guys mentioned. He's been really efficient. He's helped manage this offense in the absence of Trae Young. And Nikola Alexander Walker as well has really stepped up in the absence of Trae Young as well, averaging 17, 2 and 3, and a steal a game. So, I mean, he's been really, really impactful for this team. And shout out Kristaps Porzingis. He's also producing there on the defensive end for the Atlanta Hawks. But until they win against some top dogs, I'll be bought in.
Yeah, I just want to give a big shout out to my guy, Vit Kreshki. I love Vit Kreshki. Thunder draft pick. Former roster casualty a couple years ago, but he's still cooking. He's had a great go-around the past couple of games. He's averaging 11.1 points, 2.4 rebounds, 1.8 assists, while shooting 54% from the field and 48.1% on 5.4 threes a game. He's playing that Kyle Korver type role for this Hawks team, and Vit Kreshki, remember the name. He's going to continue to be popping up on box scores throughout the season. And I mean, against the Clippers, he scored 28 points on 8 3-pointers. Against the Jazz, he scored 20 points on 6 3-pointers. Against the Kings, he scored 11. Last night against the Suns, he scored 7 points. And against the Lakers, he scored 17 points on 2 3-pointers. But he's going to continue to be in this rotation even whenever some of the guys start getting healthy because he's been too good. You can't remove him from the rotation. Plus, he's a strong defender. He's a strong, off-ball playmaker is what I like to call it. He knows how to rotate. He knows how to rotate passes whenever he catches it, either to shoot, decide, or drive in. At times as well, he's that type of connector that teams dream to have. And him and Nikola Alexander Walker as this team's 2 main shooting guards is going to be very scary, especially when you have Dyson Daniels, who sometimes he's a point guard, sometimes he's a small forward, sometimes he's a power forward, sometimes he's a shooting guard. This team's really, really deep and makes me really excited to see what this team is going to look like for the future and what it's going to be doing for the rest of the time, because this Hawks team's deep, and I like this, and I really want to see them continue doing what they've been doing. Now, LeBron James is about to be back. LeBron James returned to practice a couple of days ago. I believe it was yesterday. It was yesterday. He returned to practice. He was reassigned back to the Lakers from their G League affiliates and will be a full participant at practice Monday as the season debut nears. He was assigned to the South Bay Lakers on Wednesday and completed multiple days of practices on 5-on-5 sessions with the G League team. That has to be fun for the G Leaguers to be playing 5-on-5 with LeBron. But the 40-year-old James, who missed all of training camp in the first month of the regular season because of his lower back injury and down the right side of his body, he was a full participant, and he's about to be back. And the Lakers are looking good without him. Let's see if that continues when Big Unc James comes back.
Oh, my goodness. LeBron is back. I know Brayden will obviously get into that a lot, so I'll save that for him. But for this Lakers team coming up, depending on when he fully comes back, I mean, you got Utah Jazz twice in back-to-backs, and then, oh, wow, they got a good old break in there. 18th, yeah, that makes sense for Thanksgiving. But obviously playing Utah twice, and then playing the Unction in the Los Angeles Clippers at home, which I think was basically a home game regardless. But it'd be kind of cool for LeBron to, come back against Cooper Flag in L.A. against Dallas and Cooper Flag. I think that'd be pretty interesting. But obviously, depending on when he comes back, I mean, it's good for the Lakers that he's come back to practice. But I think LeBron needs to kind of take that back seat. This is Luka's team now, and I think he's proved that.
Yeah, I'm kind of go off that a little bit. Obviously, Luka's leading the league right now in scoring, and then you add a player like LeBron James back into that lineup, I think you'll see a little bit of that production come down. But that's not to say Luka doesn't have the ability to stay in the top 5 of scoring in the NBA. It's just LeBron brings that another element of scoring with playmaking. I think Luka and LeBron play really well off of each other. We saw that towards the end of last year when Luka was traded to LA. And it's going to be exciting to see that on the court again with LeBron and Luka.
Yeah, definitely. And they were still trying to get used to playing alongside each other, but I'm hoping now that Luka's kind of just insisted that it's his team now, that they'll start to, find a good median where LeBron gets his share, Luka gets his share of touches, and obviously Austin Reeves is there too. So he's going to have to get his fair share of touches as well. But the Lakers are looking pretty good. They're currently 3rd in the Western Conference, only behind the Thunder and Nuggets so far on the season. Actually, no, they're 4th in the West. The Rockets jumped them yesterday. The Rockets are 3 in the West now. After starting very slow on the year, they are now 9-3, 9-1 in their last 10. But the West is shaping up to be the West we all know and love, where you have the number 8 seed in the conference still with a winning record, and then the Blazers are 6 and 7, and the Jazz are at the 10 seed at 5 and 8. The Clippers are all the way out of there. The Grizzlies are all the way out of there. The Pelicans are in the basement, along with the Sacramento Kings. But the West is the West. The West will continue to be the West, and no one does it like the West, I guess. But we will be starting our Rookie Roundtable segment, y'all. It's going to be fun. Pick one rookie you really like so far this season. This is the second time we've done this since the season has started. My first rookie was Ryan Kalkbrenner. Now, RJ, you say yours.
Well, mine is coming from the basement of the Western Conference. Arguably one of the coolest jerseys you can have. You can probably see this jerseys a lot at frat parties in the coming years. But Jeremiah Fears from the New Orleans Pelicans is my pick. From this past week, he has scored 15-plus points in every matchup so far. And I mean, yes, you are playing for a pretty garbage team. I mean, he's averaging 14, 3, and 3. But I think if you can have any sort of light at the end of the tunnel, or we should say in this case, any light, any candle in the basement, I think really for Jeremiah Fears, he's been doing really good so far. Obviously the 7th overall pick in this past draft. I think if he keeps this up, he has a lot of potential for this year. And he's one of those kind of sneaky, super sneaky picks if we want to talk Rookie of the Year race.
I'm I'm going to take a guy from the Brusco bus, the Charlotte Hornets, Con Knipple. He currently leads all rookies in scoring, and the past couple games, he has honestly had a really, really nice stretch here. He dropped 30 against Miami, 19 against the Lakers, another 16 against the Bucks, and then career-high 32 points against the Milwaukee Bucks. Kind of had an off night against the Thunder with only 8 points, but still impacted the game in other aspects. I think that, honestly, the Hornets really lucked out here. Con Knipple, obviously playing alongside Cooper Flagg at Duke, showed some promise, but we didn't really know how he was going to be on a NBA roster. And playing alongside LaMelo Ball looks to be the best fit for him. And it's really exciting to see the Hornets get another young star in the mix.
Yeah, I'm going to go out to Memphis for my player. Cedric Howard has looked very good so far this season. I really liked him as a potential Thunder selection, but the Grizzlies were able to snipe him, trading up to select him right before the Thunder. But for the Grizzlies this season, he's averaging 14 points, 6.1 rebounds, and 3 assists. He's currently shooting 47.8% from the field, 37.1% from 3, and 90% from the free throw line. He's looked phenomenal. He's been great on defense, great on offense, and he's looking like that scorer of the future that the Grizzlies also needed. He can do it from all three levels. He's a strong finisher at the rim. He's a really, really talented mid-range scorer, and he can knock down three-point jumpers anytime he wants to. He had a really hot start of the year. It's cooled down a little bit, but he was the first player in NBA history to average at least 15 points per game on 50, 40, 90 shooting splits through his first 10 career games. So shout out Cedric for that. He's going to continue to play better and better as his career goes on. And I'm very excited to see where his career takes him because I really like the Memphis Grizzlies draft. Obviously, Javon Small has been out for the past couple of games with turf toe, but Cedric Howard is looking like one of the main guys in this draft class, and it's going to be very exciting to see where he goes the rest of the way. Now, to wrap things up, we're going back to the Emirates NBA Cup where, we do our thing. Group stage picks. We have a nice lineup of 9 games this Friday. We're starting out with the Pacers and Cavs. Friday, November 21st at 7 p.m. in Rocket Arena.
D-Mitch is money.
Money Mitch.
Give me the Cavs. Yeah. Nets Celtics in TD Square Garden. 7:30 p.m. tip for that one.
Nets really suck.
Missed out on Cooper Flagg.
The Seas are rolling. Wizards Raptors. It will be in Toronto. 7:30 p.m. tip. And the Raptors looking to find something.
Sorry, Matt Foley.
Give me the Toronto Fighting Drakes.
Give me the Wizards. Cam Whitmore, big game. Heat Bulls in United Center. Bulls looking to find some type of energy.
Norman Powell, goated.
Andrew Wiggins, goated.
Bam Adebayo. Bam. New Orleans Pelicans, Dallas Mavericks. This game will not be in New Orleans. It will be in Dallas. Let's see if the Cooper Flags can get things going.
Basement stays dark.
Someone turn the light on.
Who's even win? Both of these teams are at the basement. Who are you picking to win?
Okay, the Pelicans are more in the basement, and I think we both know this.
Okay.
So Mavericks.
Yeah, give me Dallas. Yeah. Timberwolves Suns, 9 p.m. tip. Good matchup here between two young and hungry teams.
DiVincenzo, waiver ad.
What was the matchup?
Timberwolves Suns.
Give me the Timberwolves.
Sorry, his brain just broke for
zoned out. I was like, what?
Give me the fighting Devin Bookers to win again. Denver Nuggets and Houston Rockets, 9:30 p.m. tip for this one. This will be a fun matchup between the top three teams, the second and third best teams in the Western Conference.
Horse racer wins.
Joker.
Joker, poker, choker. He's no choker. It's Nikola Jokic.
What?
I don't know.
You know what? That's what the segment's for.
Oklahoma City Thunder against the Utah Jazz, 10 p.m. tip. I have to stay up late for this one. I'm covering this one. Let's see what happens.
You poor soul. I need to think of my 3 words. Refs whistle blowing.
Utah Jazz.
Pause. Just not realize what I said. I'm going Thunder.
Lou Dort, big game. Big game Lou in the Emirates NBA Cup. Trailblazers Warriors around us out. Some storylines here.
God, I love the NBA Emirates or the Emirates NBA Cup. Jeez, if I could speak. Trailblazers, young and goated.
Curry is wet.
You know who's also wet? Shaedon Sharp. He will score 35 points. And yeah, he'll spray his shots all over the Golden State Warriors. And that'll be it for this episode of the Flop Factor. I want to thank you all for listening and getting to this point. The Emirates NBA Cup is going to be a blast. Can't wait until it gets to Vegas. But for myself, Cody Burton, RJ Rice, and Brayden Laszlo, we're wrapping it up right here on the Flop Factor. The Flop Factor ends now.